Hi there! I am here to show you how to do your variable picture. First of all, let's talk about what a variable is. A variable can mean a couple of things in math. One of the things in math we use letters or variables for are things that might change. So an amount or a value or a measurement that may not be the same every single time. So we put in a letter so we don't keep coming back to the same number and thinking, oh, that's what it is, because it may not be that anymore. It might change over time, maybe how much you earn or how big something is, how tall something is. These are all things that can change. So a variable can represent something that varies or something that changes. Another thing we use a variable for is an amount we don't know. We don't know what it is. And at the start of the school year, there tend to be a lot of those. There's a lot of things we don't know. It can be kind of scary. So we're going to take care of some of that by defining a variable. We're going to define our very own variables. We're going to do that on a Jamboard. So I'm going to show you how that works. So on the screen here, we have a Jamboard. So you'll be in Google Classroom and you will click the Jamboard link and it will take you to something that looks like this or a lot like this. And I've got a spotlight on my mouse. You can see it moving around. So this is the first screen you're going to come to, and this will give you all the instructions. So here's how this works. First of all, on your frame, but they work a lot like Google Slides, so if you think of them as slides, that might help too. But you'll need to find a slide or a frame for yourself, and you're going to need to put your name on it. So that's the first requirement, is make sure your name is on it. Okay. Second thing, you're going to pick one letter, and that will be your variable. It can be the starting letter of your first name or the starting letter of your last name. Okay, so pick one of those, and then you're going to find 4 things starting with that letter that describe you. They can be things you like, things that are your favorite something. They can be things that describe you, a character trait, be anything like that. Okay, and finally, hang on, let's move me. Each of those 4 words needs its own picture, okay? Because some of what we do in math is displaying it, making pictures of our math, okay? So these are the things we need. All right, so up here at the top, you can see where my cursor is, the highlight. There's apparently 5 frames or 5 slides so far on our Jamboard. Okay, we need one that's blank. We don't want one that somebody else is working on. So if I click this arrow, I will go to the next one. Oh, and somebody's already been doing something on this. The second one you come to is the example. This is my Jamboard, my variable. So I picked S for my last name. So there it is. There's my big letter S, and I put it in the middle. And then the 4 things that describe me. I can be silly, love soccer. I can be pretty sarcastic. And I love to solve puzzles, so I called myself a solver. Kind of cheated there, but that's okay. And there's a picture to go with each one. There's an emoji, there's an actual picture, there's a cartoon, there's a puzzle that represents solving things, and then my name is over here. Okay, so this is the example of what you're looking for, but we still need a blank board. If I click again, somebody's working on this. They've got their name on it. So what you can do is you can actually click down there and it will show you all the different boards, and you can arrow around until you find, and you can say, oh, okay, well, let's add one, and it'll call itself a frame, add a frame instead of add a screen. So let's add a frame. Okay, and then in order to be on that frame, you have to click it. So make sure you click it, and then you can get this to go up, collapse the frame bar. All right, and now you have a big blank screen that you can play with, okay? So the first thing you want to do, number 1, is put your name on it. So over here on the left side, underneath the arrow, there is a sticky note. And you can pick what color you want, or it can be no color, but here's where you're going to want to put your name on it. So I'm going to put my name on it. And you want to hit save. And there it is. It's right there. Now, once you've saved it, it's trying to get you to create another sticky note. If you don't want to make another sticky note right now, tell it to cancel. Okay, so there it is. There's my sticky note, and I can move it around. You just click on it and grab it and move it all around. You can also, up on the left, you can turn it different directions. Okay, you can also make it bigger. You can make it smaller. Okay, so there's lots of things you can do with it. And if you want to get rid of it, These 3 buttons, you can delete it, you can edit it, you can make a copy of it. So there's lots of things you can do. So I'm going to put this up here so that people know this is my Jamboard. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so people see it and they don't try to write on my Jamboard. So this one's mine, okay? And let's use my first name this time because I already made one with my last name. So I want another sticky note. So anytime you want to write on this, you want to use sticky notes. So I'm going to make another sticky note. And I'm going to choose the letter L from my first name. I'm going to make this one green. All right, and again, it's trying to make another sticky note for me. So I'm going to say, nope, I don't want another one. I've got the one I want. There it is. And I'm going to put this guy over here. It doesn't have to be in the center. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be over here. It can be anywhere you want as long as it can be found. So here is a big letter L, and I'm going to make it kind of goofy that way. So there's my letter L. Okay, and now I've got my letter, I've got my name. I need 4 words that start with L that describe me. So I'm going to come back to my sticky notes. Anytime you're writing, you want to be on the sticky note. I'm going to make them all yellow. So here's one word. I am going to put llamas. So I worked at a zoo during college once and got to know the llamas really well, and they were really fun but really sassy, and I liked them a lot. So llamas, so I'm going to save it. There it is, and it's trying to make another sticky note, and that's okay because I do want another word. So let's do lunch. I make a pretty good lunch to bring to school and eat. It's a good part of the day, so I like lunch, and I'm going to save that. So there's another sticky note. I can get lost in thought pretty easily. Those, I will save that. And I need one more word that starts with L that describes me. And I like to go hiking, so I'm going to put lakes, because sometimes I like to hike to lakes and mountains. Okay, I don't need any more sticky notes, so I'm going to cancel it. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things that describe me, and I'm just going to kind of move them around and put them in weird places, because why not? All right, we are on the last step. The last step is to find pictures for these things. So we're going to look at the sticky note, and below it, it looks like there's a little mountain, like some scenery. That's our image, and we're going to click on that. And if you've got an image you like, you can upload it, but you can also just look on Google for it. So I'm going to look on Google for Lost in Thought and just see what shows up. All right, we've got all kinds of people lost in thought, it looks like. We've got the thinker, very famous statue. We've got people on a bridge. This looks like somebody got lost in their own maze of a mind. I like that one because that oftentimes describes me when I'm lost in thought. So now I've got lost in thought. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller because I do have more pictures that need to come. And I'm going to tip it a little bit, and I'm going to put it up here. And I'm going to grab this guy and pull him forward and maybe stick him right underneath. All right, so there is my lost in thought. Okay, and let's see what they've got for llamas. So, got to go back to our mountain, and let's find llamas. Oh yeah, I like my llamas. This one actually looks like the one I worked with at the zoo. So does this one. There were 2 of them. This looks like Ginger, and this looks like Francis. They were such good llamas to work with. So anyway, I like llamas with I like this guy though, because he looks like he's out and about and he's ready to protect people and protect his herd. And that's what I loved about llamas. They're also so protective. So I'm going to put this guy here. I'm going to turn this guy a little bit this way, just make it a little bit crazy. Okay, so I will need a picture for lunch. I will need a picture for lakes, and that will be everything I need. Other things you can do, if you would like to, up here where it says background, you can change the background color. There's not a ton of options, but you could make it, for example, you could make it high contrast, you could do a black background, you could make it on a grid, you could make it on lined paper, so it looks like it's on a notebook, totally up to you. But that's how you create your Jamboard, okay? And it should be about you, and we will use these to help each other get to know one another. So I look forward to seeing what you put on there, and I'm excited to get to know you guys.